was the only white person in the room, and people were very upset with my race in general, and it wasn't anything that I did to them directly, but there was one woman who told the whole entire class that she doesn't like white people and she will never like white people. And then what do you say to that?
No one ever talked to me about white privilege.
So it's never really crossed my mind like what privileges I have, because it just sort of, I just live with it, I guess.
I think some people think I'm extremely privileged, but I'm not.
Today I ran into people who literally told me they'd never talked to a white person and taken them seriously in their entire life because of the way they've been brought up to think about white people. I thought that it didn't work that way. I thought that only white people were the ones that were afraid of other races. White people have a tendency to be really overbearing about their privileges, not understanding what they are and not understanding how it affects other people.
I remember feeling angry in my freshman year that there were these kind of social groups around campus that I felt like it sometimes would stray from being a resource to self-segregation, because it was at a point where if I wasn't part of that community or if I wasn't part of a certain group, that I wasn't allowed into that group because I didn't fit in with that race or that community or that anything. So it was kind of more of a push than it was trying to raise awareness.
I try to, communicate to a group of people that are different racially than I am. There are some situations where they just you're a whitey, you don't know anything. You don't know what's up with us, you don't know the real deal, you don't know what it's like to be here. And sure I don't, but does that mean that I can't understand? Or that I can't at least learn? Or that you can't just accept me for the other merits I have?
I think people just think I'm ignorant sometimes about their cultures, or some people might think that I might think some certain way about them when I really don't.
But I'm 8 different ethnicities. You know, when given the chance on those little SAT fill in the bubble things, I always try and fill in mixed European. Because it's really more how I identify ethnically than Caucasian.
It's the passing privilege idea. If you look white, then you must be white,
So my grandpa disowned my dad because he married a person who is from the United States.
It's not about assimilating everyone to a common race. It should be about understanding that people are different and being able to accept and learn from each other's differences.
I don't want to say, white people aren't allowed to have support groups, but there's definitely a perception within society that it'd be weird for there to be a white support group.
Why is it that there's not a Swedish student union, or even a German student union, or an Irish student union? I feel like if we were to have a white student union, that would be a little weird, just because white people already have everywhere to hang out, and they already have all of their resources.
You know what? There is a white student union. It's called the Administration Building. The school was built for white people. It was only opened up to other races.
I never want to come off to someone as that rich white girl, I would much rather just be that's Bridget,
As much as we all expect tolerance, we should be willing to be tolerant with others as well, right? And so, when white people decide that they're going to open their minds, it would be optimal if everyone was great. But sometimes people are not. Sometimes people think it's ingenuine. Sometimes, and then it's a real dilemma for the white person who's trying to learn, And it's how can you learn if no one's going to let you?